In the vast, ancient forests of Northern California, a place of immense beauty and profound mystery exists. This is Bluff Creek. It is a remote network of steep canyons and dense woodlands, carved by the patient hand of a winding creek. Towering redwood and fir trees stand as silent sentinels, guarding secrets that have been held for generations. The air here is thick with the scent of damp earth and pine, and the silence is often broken only by the rustle of unseen animals or the distant call of a bird. For centuries, these woods have stood untouched, their wildness undisturbed by the march of civilization. Within this primeval landscape, stories have taken root, tales whispered on the wind, echoing through the moss-draped branches and shadowed glens. Long before the modern world took notice, indigenous peoples of the region spoke of a mysterious being, an elusive giant, half seen in the twilight, whose presence was felt more than seen. Their legends, carved into stone and woven into oral tradition, described a creature that moved silently among the trees, a guardian of the wild places, both feared and revered. The story of Bluff Creek is not just about its trees or its waters. It is about a mystery that walks on two legs, a legend that has haunted the imagination for generations. Bluff Creek is the epicenter of the Bigfoot phenomenon, a place where myth and reality intertwine beneath the ancient canopy. Here, in the dappled light and shadow, the legend was thrust into the global spotlight, forever changing the course of cryptozoological history. The tale of Bluff Creek is a journey into the wild, but it is also a journey into the enduring power of mystery, a story that bridges the ancient and the modern. The importance of this specific location cannot be overstated. Bluff Creek is not merely a place on a map, but a symbol, a focal point for the hopes, fears, and curiosity of generations. While stories of large, hairy, human-like creatures have been told for centuries across North America, it was Bluff Creek that crystallized the legend for the modern era, igniting a cultural phenomenon. The fleeting image captured here became a touchstone for believers and skeptics alike, sparking debate, investigation and wonder that endures to this day. The events that unfolded in these woods transformed a piece of local folklore into a global legend, inspiring countless stories, films and scientific inquiries. The allure of Bluff Creek lies not only in its remoteness, but in its ability to stir the imagination, a place where the boundaries of science and myth are tested. What is it about this particular patch of wilderness that makes it so special? Perhaps it is the sheer remoteness, an environment rugged enough to conceal a large undiscovered primate, an ecosystem that has remained largely unchanged for millennia. Or maybe it is the rich biodiversity, a living tapestry of flora and fauna that could, in theory, support such a mysterious creature. Whatever the reason, Bluff Creek holds a unique status in the annals of cryptozoology, a place where the search for the unknown continues, undaunted by time or skepticism. It is a living laboratory for those who dare to ask, what if? A crucible where evidence and legend intermingle, challenging the boundaries of what we know. As we delve into its history, we find a story rich with ancient folklore, scientific intrigue, and a deep sense of wonder, a story that continues to call to us from the depths of the forest, inviting us to believe in the possibility of the extraordinary. The legend of Bluff Creek, as it is known today, began not with a fleeting glimpse of a mysterious creature, but with a silent revelation in the soft, yielding mud of a remote forest floor. In the late 1950s, the dense woodlands of the Six Rivers National Forest were a place of constant transformation, with heavy machinery carving new paths through the ancient trees. Amidst the towering conifers and thick undergrowth, the ground was often churned to mud by the passage of equipment, creating a perfect canvas for any passing animal to leave its mark. One morning, the forest revealed a series of enormous, human-like footprints pressed deeply into the earth, their size and stride far exceeding those of any known animal in the region. Each print measured an extraordinary length and width, with clear impressions of toes and a pronounced arch, suggesting a creature of remarkable size and weight. The tracks wound their way through the mud, following a purposeful path into the dense, mist-shrouded undergrowth, their depth and clarity indicating that whatever made them had passed through during the night. The environment itself seemed to echo with mystery. Heavy equipment found inexplicably shifted, and the silence of the forest broken only by the distant calls of wildlife. The discovery of these prints demanded careful documentation and analysis, as the evidence was both compelling and perplexing. To preserve the details, a scientific approach was taken. A mixture of plaster of Paris was carefully poured into the largest and clearest of the prints, capturing every ridge, toe impression, and subtle contour. Once hardened, the cast provided a durable three-dimensional record of the footprint, allowing for precise measurements and further study. The cast, when examined, revealed anatomical features consistent with a primate, yet on a scale far beyond any known species in North America. News of the discovery spread rapidly, as the scientific community and the public alike were captivated by the physical evidence emerging from the remote wilderness. The cast was subjected to detailed scrutiny, with experts analysing the depth, pressure points and stride length to estimate the weight and gait of the unknown trackmaker. The sheer size and anatomical structure of the prints led to the coining of a new term, Bigfoot, a name that would soon become synonymous with the mystery itself. The name captured the imagination of a nation, and the evidence became a touchstone for further investigation. The discovery of the tracks and the subsequent analysis ignited a wave of scientific curiosity and public fascination. The vast misty forests of the Pacific Northwest, with their endless stretches of untouched wilderness, became the backdrop for this unfolding mystery. The story resonated with a deep primal curiosity about the unknown, and the possibility that something extraordinary might still roam the wild places of the earth. Long before this discovery, tales of giant, elusive creatures had been woven into the folklore of the region, known by names such as Sasquatch. But now, the evidence was tangible, a modern mystery with a modern name. The term Bigfoot was easy to remember, and it perfectly encapsulated the essence of the evidence, a footprint of astonishing size and clarity. The plaster cast itself became an iconic artifact, displayed as a testament to the enduring mystery. It provided a physical anchor for the stories, allowing for direct examination and comparison. This was no longer just a tale whispered around a campfire. It was evidence that could be seen, measured, and analysed. The depth and spacing of the prints suggested a creature of immense weight and stature, moving with purpose through the wilderness, yet remaining unseen. The cast inspired a new wave of scientific inquiry, with investigators and naturalists venturing into the forests to search for further evidence. The mystery of Bluff Creek had been given a name, and the search for answers had truly begun, setting the stage for even more remarkable discoveries in the years to come. In the heart of Northern California, Bluff Creek lay shrouded in the cool hush of an autumn morning. The forest was alive with the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant call of a jay, and the soft gurgle of water winding its way through the sandy creek bed. Sunlight filtered through the towering trees, casting shifting patterns across the wide sandy bar where fallen logs lay scattered like ancient bones. Suddenly the serenity fractured. A flock of birds burst from the undergrowth, wings beating in alarm. A deer, startled, bounded away through the brush, its white tail flashing. From the mist, a massive shadowy figure appeared at the edge of the creek. Towering and broad-shouldered, it moved with a deliberate, powerful stride, each step pressing deep into the sand. The creature's feet left deep impressions in the soft earth, the sand shifting beneath its weight. Water rippled outward where it crossed the shallow stream, sending minnows darting for cover. Its body was covered in thick, dark hair that caught the morning light, revealing the play of muscle beneath. Shoulders rolled with each step, arms swinging in a rhythm both powerful and strangely graceful. The forest seemed to hold its breath. Squirrels clung motionless to tree trunks. Crows called out in warning from the high branches, and unseen creatures watched from the shadows, sensing the presence of something extraordinary. The figure walked with a fluid, unhurried gait, its arms swinging at its sides, every movement radiating strength and purpose. Then, in a moment that seemed to stretch time itself, the creature paused. Its head and torso turned, dark eyes scanning the forest behind it as if aware of being watched. For an instant its face was visible, brow furrowed, mouth set, gaze intelligent and alert. The air was thick with tension, every animal in the forest attuned to the silent drama unfolding. With a final lingering glance, the figure turned and strode into the dense tree line, branches swaying in its wake. The forest slowly exhaled, the sounds of wildlife returning, but the memory of that moment lingered in the air, an indelible imprint on the wild heart of Bluff Creek. The legend of that encounter would ripple outward, echoing through time and imagination, forever entwined with the mystery and majesty of the untamed wilderness. For decades after 1967, the precise location where the iconic footage was captured remained shrouded in mystery, hidden by the relentless forces of time and nature. Bluff Creek's landscape is a living, breathing entity, constantly shifting, evolving and reshaping itself with each passing season. In December of 1964, a catastrophic flood swept through the valley, scouring the creek bed, uprooting trees and erasing familiar landmarks. Over the years, new trees took root, old giants toppled and decayed, and the creek's meandering course continued to carve fresh paths through the wilderness. The search for the original film site became a quest to decode the language of the land itself, relying on environmental clues left behind by the passage of time. Every detail, fallen logs, the shape of the creek, the position of ancient stumps, became a vital piece of the puzzle, essential for verifying the authenticity of the site and understanding the context of the film. In the 21st century, the search was transformed by the use of modern technology. GPS mapping, aerial drones, and high-resolution photography allowed for a forensic approach to the natural landscape. The process became one of environmental investigation, with every soil sample, bark pattern, and topographical feature scrutinized for clues. The original film, along with still photographs from 1967 and 1971, served as primary reference points, maps to a lost world. By meticulously comparing the positions of trees, stumps, and the contours of distant hills in historical images with the present-day landscape, the search narrowed. The process was painstaking and slow, demanding patience and a sharp eye for subtle changes in the environment. Certain landmarks emerged as crucial anchors in the search: unique stumps, fallen logs, and the contours of the creek itself. Among these, a large decaying stump, known as the Big Stump, and two other distinctive stumps, the Smiley Stump and the Leaning Stump, stood out in historical photographs. The creek's banks were scoured for these silent witnesses, their forms weathered but still recognizable. Perhaps the most significant clue was a distinctive maple tree, its trunk marked by a unique crook high above the ground. In the original film, this maple's unmistakable bend, about 10 feet up, was clearly visible, a natural signature. Against all odds, the same tree was found still standing, its crooked form a perfect match to the one seen on film over half a century earlier. After years of meticulous analysis, the site was positively identified. The landscape had revealed its secret. In that spot, the surviving trees and distant ridgeline could be aligned to perfectly match the perspective seen in the original footage. This was a monumental achievement in environmental investigation and landscape analysis. The exact coordinates were published, opening the site to further scientific study and exploration. The rediscovery of the film site was more than a triumph of navigation. It was a testament to the enduring power of nature's clues, and a reminder that the events of 1967 unfolded in a real physical place that endures to this day. The forests of Bluff Creek have long been a stage for mysterious and unexplained phenomena, well before any famous footage brought them to the world's attention. In these dense, ancient woodlands, the environment itself seems to foster secrets. The thick fog that rolls in at dawn, the towering trees that block out the sun, and the endless maze of undergrowth create a world where the unusual can easily go unnoticed. Over the years, observers have noted strange disturbances in the environment. Heavy objects, such as oil barrels weighing hundreds of pounds, have been found inexplicably moved or tossed into creeks, with no evidence of dragging or rolling in the soil, suggesting a force far beyond that of any known animal in the region. Tracks and impressions far larger than those of any native wildlife have been discovered in remote meadows and along muddy creek beds. These prints often display a stride and depth that defy explanation, hinting at a creature of immense size and strength. The local fauna, too, have been observed behaving unusually. Deer and smaller mammals sometimes avoid certain areas for days at a time, as if sensing an unseen presence. Birds fall silent without warning, and the usual chorus of the forest is replaced by an uneasy stillness. On rare occasions, witnesses have reported glimpses of a shadowy figure moving silently among the trees, always at the edge of vision, never fully revealed. The creature's ability to blend into the dense undergrowth and move without sound has only deepened the mystery. Environmental clues, such as broken branches high above the ground, unusual nesting sites, and the sudden appearance of large, deep impressions in soft earth, have all contributed to the legend. These signs suggest the presence of a powerful, intelligent animal, one that is highly adapted to its environment and skilled at avoiding detection. The forests themselves seem to guard their secrets, with shifting mists and tangled shadows providing perfect cover for any elusive creature. The interplay of light and darkness, the echo of distant calls, and the ever-present sense of being watched all contribute to the enduring enigma of Bluff Creek. These early encounters, marked by unexplained animal behavior, mysterious environmental changes, and physical evidence that defies easy explanation, form the foundation of the Bluff Creek mystery. They remind us that in these ancient woods, the line between the known and the unknown is often blurred, and that nature still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. The mystery of Bluff Creek is not confined to the past. In recent years, the pursuit of evidence has evolved dramatically, thanks to the integration of advanced scientific methods and cutting-edge technology. One of the most significant advancements is the use of environmental DNA, or eDNA. By collecting soil, water, or even air samples from the forest, scientists can detect trace genetic material left behind by any organism that has passed through the area. This non-invasive technique allows for the identification of rare or elusive species without the need for direct observation. High-definition cameras and thermal images remain essential, capturing visual and heat signatures that might otherwise go unnoticed. Sensitive audio recorders, strategically placed throughout the wilderness, continuously monitor the environment for unusual sounds. Advanced audio analysis has become a cornerstone of modern investigation. Sophisticated software can isolate, visualize and compare vocalizations, helping researchers distinguish between known animal calls and unexplained sounds. This process can reveal patterns, frequencies, and even potential language structures that might otherwise be missed by the human ear. Camera traps equipped with motion sensors and infrared capabilities operate year-round in remote locations. These devices silently document the comings and goings of wildlife, and occasionally they capture images or videos of unidentified figures moving through the forest. Advanced tracking methods such as GPS mapping and the analysis of movement patterns provide valuable insights into the behavior and migration of forest inhabitants. By studying these patterns, researchers can identify anomalies that may point to the presence of an unknown creature. Physical evidence such as hair samples is meticulously collected and analyzed. Microscopic examination can reveal unique characteristics, like the absence of a central medulla, which some believe is indicative of an unknown primate species. Footprints and other impressions are documented with high-resolution photography and plaster casting. These prints are then compared to known species, with particular attention paid to size, depth, and anatomical features that might set them apart. Unusual environmental disturbances, such as broken or twisted trees, are carefully measured and recorded. Investigators look for patterns that cannot be easily explained by weather, known animals, or natural decay. Thermal imaging has occasionally revealed large, heat-emitting figures moving through the forest, sometimes displaying behaviors that suggest an awareness of being observed. Nighttime surveillance, aided by infrared and thermal technology, allows for continuous monitoring of the environment, capturing activity that would otherwise remain hidden in darkness. Every piece of evidence, from soil samples to audio recordings, is catalogued and preserved for further analysis, contributing to a growing database of information. By mapping the locations of collected evidence, researchers can identify hotspots of activity and focus future investigations more effectively. The environment itself holds countless secrets, and with each technological advancement, the chances of uncovering definitive proof increase. The search for answers continues, guided by science, innovation, and an unwavering curiosity about what may still roam the wilds of Bluff Creek. Long before the term Bigfoot entered popular vocabulary, the forests of the Pacific Northwest echoed with stories of a mysterious presence, an ancient being woven into the very fabric of the land. In Native American tradition, this being is not a mere creature, but a profound symbol of the wild, an embodiment of the untamed spirit of the forest, rivers and mountains. Legends speak of a guardian of the wilderness, a shadow among the trees, whose presence commands both awe and caution. The being is seen as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, a keeper of secrets hidden deep within the ancient woods. The stories tell of encounters at the river's edge, of stones cast into water, of haunting calls echoing through the mist, reminders that the forest is alive with forces beyond human understanding. These tales, passed down through generations, are not simply warnings or curiosities. They are lessons in humility, teaching respect for the land and its mysteries. The being is a symbol of balance, an ever-present reminder that the natural world is not to be dominated but honoured. In these legends, the creature is not a monster but a neighbour, one whose power and wisdom demand reverence, whose presence signals the need for harmony between all living things. The symbolism runs deep. The being is often described as a watcher, a silent guardian who moves unseen, yet whose influence is felt in every rustle of leaves and every shadow that passes beneath the towering redwoods. The connection between the creature and the land is inseparable. The legends suggest that as long as the forests stand, so too does the spirit of this ancient being. The consistency of these stories across centuries and landscapes is striking, hinting at a shared understanding of the forest's mysteries that transcends time. The being's presence is a thread running through the ages, a reminder that the land remembers and that its stories endure. In Native American culture, the legend of this mysterious figure is not about fear or conquest, but about respect, coexistence, and the enduring power of the natural world, a world filled with spirits, stories, and wonders that invite humility from all who enter. The ecosystem of Bluff Creek is intricately woven into the fabric of the greater Klamath River basin, forming a living network where every element is interdependent. The vitality of the land and the purity of the water are inseparable, each sustaining the other in a delicate balance that supports a remarkable array of life. A landmark achievement for this region has been the recent removal of several large dams on the Klamath River, a transformative act of ecological restoration. Completed in 2024, this project stands as the largest river restoration effort in history, setting a new standard for conservation on a global scale. The primary objective is the revival of the legendary salmon runs, once the lifeblood of this river system and a keystone of its ecological integrity. This environmental triumph reverberates through the entire food web, strengthening the resilience of every species that depends on the river's bounty. The intricate relationship between salmon and the wild inhabitants of Bluff Creek is a cornerstone of the region's ecological story. In the 1960s, Bluff Creek was a thriving salmon-bearing stream, its waters teeming with life and supporting a vibrant ecosystem. Abundant protein-rich fish provided a reliable foundation for the survival of large omnivores and predators, anchoring the food chain. The decline of salmon populations, brought on by the construction of dams, disrupted this balance, placing stress on the entire ecosystem and forcing its inhabitants to adapt to new challenges. The resurgence of salmon is a pivotal factor in restoring the health and stability of the region, ensuring the survival of apex predators and the many species that rely on them. The restoration project brings a renewed sense of hope, signalling the rebirth of a landscape once diminished, now thriving once more. As salmon return to their ancestral spawning grounds, they ignite a cascade of life, nourishing the river and all who dwell within its reach. Predators such as bears and eagles flourish, their populations bolstered by the abundance of returning fish. The forests themselves are enriched, as nutrients from the ocean are carried upstream by salmon, feeding the soil and nurturing new growth along the riverbanks. This revitalized ecosystem becomes more robust and diverse, capable of supporting a rich tapestry of wildlife and maintaining its natural equilibrium. A healthier, more vibrant wilderness is also one that can better conceal its mysteries, preserving the secrets of the deep forest. The removal of barriers and the restoration of natural flows foster an environment where the wild can truly thrive, undisturbed and unspoiled. These efforts represent a profound commitment to the preservation of wild places, ensuring that habitats remain intact for generations of wildlife to come. By healing the river, the entire habitat is renewed, supporting the intricate web of life that depends on its health. For any elusive species that may inhabit these forests, the return of the salmon is perhaps the single most important event in securing their future. The fate of every creature in this ecosystem is bound to the health of the land and water, a testament to the power of conservation and restoration. A thriving river may be the key to sustaining the wild mysteries of Bluff Creek, ensuring that its wonders endure for ages yet to come. Bluff Creek is more than a location. It is a living tapestry, woven from the threads of mystery, wild beauty, and the unknown. Here the forest breathes with secrets, its ancient trees and winding waterways holding stories that have yet to be fully revealed. From the first enigmatic signs left in the mud to the legendary footage that sparked worldwide fascination, Bluff Creek has become a symbol of the unexplained, a place where the boundaries of reality seem to blur. The environment itself is a character in this ongoing story, mist drifting through towering trees, sunlight filtering through dense canopies, and the tranquil flow of the creek, all contributing to an atmosphere thick with possibility. The allure of Bluff Creek lies not only in the search for answers, but in the wildness that remains untouched, a reminder of how much of the world is still shrouded in mystery. Decades of investigation have produced compelling yet inconclusive evidence. Plaster casts, film reels and mysterious sounds echoing through the woods. Each clue adds to the legend, deepening the sense that something extraordinary may still be hidden within these ancient woods. Yet the ultimate proof remains elusive, and it is this absence that fuels the legend, keeping curiosity alive. Bluff Creek exists in the space between certainty and wonder, inviting reflection on the limits of our knowledge and the vastness of the natural world. The enduring allure of this place is rooted in its untamed spirit, a landscape that resists easy answers and continues to inspire awe. In a world increasingly mapped and measured, Bluff Creek stands as a testament to the mysteries that nature still holds, reminding us that not all secrets have been uncovered. The search for answers here is, in many ways, a search for the unknown itself, a pursuit of wonder in a world that often feels explained. Bluff Creek offers hope that there are still grand discoveries to be made, that the wild can still surprise us, and that the story is far from over. The search continues not just for evidence, but for the experience of wonder itself, a journey into the heart of the unknown. As night falls and the forest deepens, Bluff Creek remains a place of questions, a living mystery that endures, inviting us to keep looking, keep wondering, and keep listening for the secrets that still echo in the dark. Nestled deep within the Pacific Northwest, Bluff Creek's ecosystem is a masterpiece of natural complexity. Towering Douglas firs and ancient redwoods form the backbone of the forest, their canopies stretching high above, filtering sunlight into shifting patterns on the forest floor. Beneath these giants, layers of ferns, mosses and shade-loving shrubs create a lush understory, providing shelter and sustenance to countless species. The creek itself winds through the landscape, its clear waters supporting a thriving aquatic community. Salmon and trout dart beneath the surface, while amphibians like the elusive Pacific giant salamander hide among the stones and submerged roots. The banks of the creek are lined with dense thickets of willow and alder, where songbirds find safe haven and small mammals scurry among the fallen leaves. Within this intricate web of life, larger mammals move silently. Black-tailed deer graze on tender shoots, while black bears forage for berries and roots. Every layer of the forest, from the highest branches to the damp earth, teems with insects, fungi, and microscopic life, each playing a role in the delicate balance of the ecosystem. This diversity creates a natural haven for creatures adapted to remain unseen. The dense vegetation, abundant food sources, and hidden passageways offer the perfect refuge for elusive species. Here, even the most mysterious inhabitants can thrive, moving through the shadows, their presence hinted at only by fleeting tracks, distant calls, or the subtle rustle of leaves. Bluff Creek's wild heart beats in harmony with its inhabitants, each life form a thread in the tapestry of the forest. The ecosystem's complexity not only sustains the known, but also shelters the unknown, making it a place where legends are born and where the secrets of nature continue to flourish, hidden deep within the ancient woods. In the shadowy corners of biological science, a field known as cryptozoology seeks to explore the mysteries of creatures not yet recognized by mainstream science. Cryptozoology focuses on the study of animals reported through folklore, anecdotal evidence or unverified sightings, creatures like the legendary Bigfoot. This discipline operates at the boundary between established zoology and the untamed world of speculation, with researchers cataloguing reports, collecting physical traces and analysing environmental clues. The debate surrounding cryptids such as Bigfoot is one of science's most enduring puzzles. On one side, skeptics emphasize the lack of concrete evidence, no confirmed specimens, no undisputed photographs, and no DNA samples that stand up to rigorous scrutiny. They point to the possibility of misidentification, hoaxes, and the powerful influence of legend and expectation on human perception. Conversely, proponents highlight the vastness and complexity of ecosystems like Bluff Creek, where new species are still discovered and elusive animals can remain hidden for generations. They draw attention to physical traces, casts of large footprints, collections of hair samples, and audio recordings of unexplained vocalizations, using them as starting points for further investigation. Modern cryptozoology employs a range of scientific methods. Environmental DNA sampling, motion-activated camera traps, and bioacoustic monitoring are used to sweep the landscape for trace evidence. Detailed habitat surveys and ecological modelling help identify where an unknown species might find refuge. The goal is always the same: to bridge the gap between legend and fact, and to uncover the truth behind enduring mysteries. In the ongoing dialogue between skepticism and belief, cryptozoology serves as a reminder of nature's complexity and of the questions that remain hidden in the world's untamed places. In the heart of Bluff Creek, the forest comes alive with a symphony of sound. The gentle rush of water over ancient stones, the whispering wind threading through towering conifers, and the rhythmic chorus of frogs and insects create an ever-present backdrop. Birdsong rings out in the early morning with woodpeckers drumming on hollow trunks and the distant cry of a hawk circling above the canopy. At dusk, the forest shifts, the haunting call of an owl echoes through the darkness, while coyotes yip and howl from distant ridges. Yet woven into these familiar natural melodies are sounds that spark curiosity and debate. Deep, resonant knocks, like wood striking wood, sometimes roll through the undergrowth, heard by those who listen closely. Unusual vocalizations, ranging from long, mournful howls to sharp, guttural whoops, have been recorded in the quiet hours of the night. These unexplained audio phenomena fuel speculation and wonder, attributed by some to the elusive presence of Bigfoot. Sensitive recording equipment placed along the creek captures this rich soundscape in intricate detail. The interplay of ordinary wildlife calls and mysterious, unidentified noises paints a vivid acoustic portrait of Bluff Creek, one that invites both scientific scrutiny and the imagination. In this place, the forest speaks in a language all its own, hinting at secrets yet to be discovered, and reminding us that the wild still holds mysteries beyond our understanding. Beyond the chorus of natural sounds, Bluff Creek holds secrets that reach further than the bounds of folklore. In the twilight hours, faint glimmers sometimes appear between the trees, strange lights weaving silently through the mist, their origins unknown. These elusive illuminations have been observed drifting above the forest floor, vanishing as quickly as they arrive, leaving only questions in their wake. Animal behavior in the region often defies expectation. Deer freeze mid-step, ears alert to unseen presences. Flocks of birds scatter suddenly, as if startled by something hidden from human eyes. Even the creek's resident otters and beavers have been noted abandoning well-worn paths, detouring around certain shadowed groves for reasons unseen. On muddy banks and mossy clearings, mysterious tracks occasionally emerge. Some are deep and broad, with unusual patterns that defy easy classification. These impressions linger until the rains erase them, their makers remaining a mystery. Trail cameras, aimed in hope of capturing answers, often record only fleeting blurs, shapes that suggest but never confirm. Taken together, these phenomena form a tapestry of the unexplained, inviting careful observation and scientific inquiry. Bluff Creek remains a place where nature's puzzles persist, challenging our understanding and fueling a sense of wonder at the mysteries the environment still conceals. In the heart of Bluff Creek, the mysteries endure, not as puzzles to be solved, but as reminders of the world's boundless complexity. The unknown breathes life into these woods, shaping every whisper of wind and ripple of water. Here, uncertainty is not a shadow to be feared, but a beacon that draws us deeper, urging us to listen, to watch and to wonder. Preserving wild places like Bluff Creek means safeguarding the questions as much as the answers. The enduring fascination with elusive creatures and unexplained phenomena speaks to something ancient within us, a longing for wonder, a respect for what lies beyond the reach of certainty. In every rustle, every fleeting track, the legacy of the unknown persists. It invites awe, inspires discovery, and reminds us that the wild is most alive where mystery still thrives.